Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your MMOBomb.com first look for Brink. This game just very quietly went free to play on Steam this past week. A little announcement on the Steam forums, maybe on the Steam Twitter, but nothing really super official from Bethesda or Splash Damage, the publisher or the developer of this game. So we're not really sure why it went free to play. What's the overall idea? Player numbers have gone up, needless to say, but players are having to find out about this on their own, just discovering it through friends or news sites who happen to notice that this game went free to play with little to no fanfare. Brink originally came out in 2011 and was pretty much critically panned, and also gamers turned on it very quickly. The game sort of died. I believe Mr. Jason Winter on the previous free-to-play cast said that the player numbers were down in the single digits right before free-to-play launched. Now numbers are back up in the thousands, but we're going to jump in, take a look, see what all the game has to offer, and help you decide whether or not it's a game that you want to try out. The gameplay you're watching right now is the game's first quote-unquote campaign mission. Works sort of like a tutorial to teach you some of the basics of the game, and why we're showing this is just something easy for me to show in the background why I talk and rant a little bit about this game. There's a reason this game pretty much died on Steam, and I don't think free-to-play is going to do a lot to bring it back. Here we go into personal opinion right off the bat. You know, that's probably not good. Now, before we get into all that, let's go over what's going on your screen right now. This is obviously sort of a tutorial mission. It's teaching us to switch between the four classes in the game, which are Soldier, Medic, Engineer, and Operative. And each one of those has their own special abilities and special things they can do on the map to assist your allies or defeat your enemies on the field of battle. So this is just sort of giving us a little taste of what each one can do and sort of forcing us to switch between those. Now, when you're playing the game, whether PvP or co-op, you do not have to necessarily switch between characters, but it can be helpful given the right situation, and especially if you look around, your teammates aren't switching to an operative that you need to interact or hack a database or something like that. You're probably going to want to switch over and take care of that for your guys. Now, first of all, let's talk about why I said quote-unquote campaign. The game has a button that you push that says campaign. This is the first mission within said quote-unquote campaign. This is a tutorial mission. You do have 8 different missions in the campaign. You have to run each one for each different faction. There's 2 different factions in the game. So technically you've got 16 different missions, but they're sort of the same 8, just sort of one side is like an attacking side, one side's defending side. Now the reason I say all that is because this campaign is a campaign in name only. When I say the word campaign, I expect story and background of the game and the world and some world building and some characters to meet, some NPCs and some character development, whether it be myself or those NPCs. Unfortunately, there is none of that in this game. This campaign consists of a series of missions with a couple of little cutscenes that are like, oh, hey, we need some story, let's throw this cutscene in, and they mean almost nothing, and they're inconsequential to anything going on around you. They do nothing to help motivate you to continue in the campaign. It's literally just doing the missions, just to do the missions. If you enjoy playing the game and doing the missions, cool, but the story is not going to give you a reason to do that, and you're not going to pick up much about what's going on in the world as you go through these campaigns. The game also features a game mode called Challenge Modes, which you can go through as a series of challenges which you'll have different goals to accomplish along the way. And you're going to want to run through those because those are going to help you unlock the different abilities, weapons, and cosmetics in the game. Several weapons and abilities and such can't be unlocked unless you actually run through the challenge mode, so you're going to want to do those if you're interested at all in playing Brink long term. There are hard modes available, and there's also easy modes available for these solo and campaigns that can be co-op through along the way if you want to try different difficulties. At the end of the day, of course, what it's going to be all about should be the PvP. With this game, however, that's not really what the game's all about. There is PvP available, but it seems to be, when you look through the server list, a good 50-50 split between those doing co-op or solo stuff and those playing Freeform Pvp. And my, oh my, can we just talk 1 second about the Freeform PvP? I've played several matches, as I love to do, give Magic Man a hard time about playing bots and co-op, and here I am showing you a ton of a me versus AI match. Why is that? It's because no matter what server I choose, no matter how many times I try, no matter what region I'm playing in, no matter what the ping of the server initially says when I join, lag, lag, lag. It is horrendous. I have not had a good experience yet on a server with other players, and I've actually been playing this game for several hours. I'm showing you here something I recorded earlier on, but I am level 7 or 8 in the game already now. That's not, you know, I don't have all the hours in the world in the game, but I'm several hours into the game. I've tried so many times to play some PvP. I've got some footage recorded that I'm probably going to show you here in just a couple of minutes of just how terrible it is. It's a laggy mess. Frame rates are horrendous. There's rubber banding. There's freezing. There's crashes. It's just not good. It's just not good in a good place, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we've played a lot of shooters for MMOBomb First Looks. I've done several for you guys. I've always tried to shine on the positive side of all of these. And while this game probably looks nicer than a lot of those we have played, though in the solo modes, it runs rather well in solo modes. Smooth as a shooter, it performs its job nicely. As an overall game, it's a little lacking in depth and features. There is character progression, so you're going to unlock abilities and stuff along the way. But even compared to some of the games that I've struggled with optimization and such like that, I would rather play those than this. I'll just be honest with you. This one is getting a hard pass from me, and part of it's because there's no good matchmaking system at all. You literally just have to go to the server list and find a game. There is a system that's supposed to let you choose like what type of server you'd like to play on, what game mode you'd like to play on, the folks you'd like to play with, and then throw you into an existing server. Every single time I've used that, I've gotten thrown in the worst experiences of PvP server stability. I get thrown in EU servers, Atlantic servers. I get 300-400 ping. So I had to give up on that, and I started handpicking my servers and looking for ones with the lowest ping, and let's jump on those and see what we can do. And even though we start out good, they always end up as laggy, stuttering messes. And it's unfortunate, because at the end of the day, you know, we're not going to sit here and play this game for a campaign that's not really a campaign. There's no story. There's no real reason to play Brink just single player and just be happy with that. There's not enough there. There's not enough depth. There's not enough meat to the campaign or the challenges to make it worth even a download for free to play through that. And unfortunately, PvP at the moment, in my experience, has been nothing but a headache to deal with. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, developer behind Dirty Bomb, publisher is freaking Bethesda. You can see why in 2011 this got panned, and why players just left in droves, and why they're not flocking back to it in the millions. The fact of the matter is, the game has not seen any improvements at all since going live in 2011. I don't see any additional game modes or anything that's been added since then. So over 6 years, it's been a game that people have just left, and now they've just launched it free-to-play with little to no fanfare, and, you know, there's just no effort put into it, and so I don't understand why players should put effort into it. I think the folks, the couple thousand they're playing right now, are probably going to very slowly disappear. So, you know, if it was me, I think I would just avoid this one like the plague. And I really hate saying that. I really hate to just be one of those banging the drum of this game just needs to die. But there's just a lot of problems with this game, and it's just gone free to play. There's no cash shop monetization, anything like that. There's $3 worth of DLC to be purchased on Steam. So I don't see any big influx of cash bringing the developers back to just save this game, unfortunately. Now let's move over and let me show you an example of what I've gotten every single time I've tried to play PvP. And here again, it doesn't matter whether I've tried to let the system find me a game or whether I've handpicked a server in a good region with a good ping for me to start out with. Even the ones that start out smooth always end up like this. All the freezing, stuttering, frame rate drops, terribleness that you are seeing on screen right now, that is not a recording glitch. The settings are exactly the same as the footage that we just got done recording. Just unfortunately, the servers just end up going to shit. And you see this, you see players rubber banding, you see me rubber banding, I think a couple times in this clip. Just overall, it's just not in a good place, and this is a server that we shouldn't have issues on. This is one one of the top servers that was on the list. It was the lowest ping that was available for me that wasn't full of players already. It was only 3rd or 4th down. Ping was under 50 when I first started this game, and this is what we wound up with. And for me, this is just simply unplayable. This is not worth my time and effort. And like I said, this is the best case scenario I've gotten every single time I've tried to play PvP. Hours of trying to play PvP matches. Some of them start out fine and end up like this, and some of them just start out like complete trash and end up like complete trash or with just a server crash. And that's GG, all she wrote. So unfortunately, this is the circumstance that I found myself in, which is why we're not showing a ton of PvP footage. If you have had better luck in the past or decide to download the game and have better luck, I am truly happy for you. Unfortunately, this was the situation I kept running into no matter what I did. Now, just for the sake of doing a complete first look, let's go ahead and take a look at character creation real quick and then show you some of the other customization systems in the game. First thing you do is choose a faction. I don't really see why it's important. You will get a little cutscene there at the beginning, but you can do the campaign missions for both sides. Here's a limited number of faces, no female characters. I've looked and looked. I don't see anything to make female characters. After you choose a face, you'll get to adjust your skin tone a little bit, and then you can sort of pick a voice. And they're all vaguely British to completely British, so not a ton of choices in character creation. Now, when we go back into our existing character, we can look at actual customization that we can do from in the game, and it gets a little more freeform in here. There's several different things that you can unlock. Just play the game, just do the challenges, do the campaign, just level up. You're going to gain access to some of these other appearance customizations, and you can change those pretty much anytime you want to in here. There's also 3 different body types. You can see this guy's a bigger dude. There's a medium-sized body type and a light body type. And they sort of affect how the character moves, the things that they can do. Heavy body type can take more damage, but can only jump over short walls. Medium body type moves a little faster, can jump over tall walls. And the light body type is the one that really shines in the quote-unquote parkour that this game was supposed to have been known for. However, that is completely overblown, and you will not even really notice you're doing quote-unquote parkour. So just looking through several different appearance options. So, I mean, there's some nice choices there. As we go out, we'll take a look at weapons here. You've got your primary weapons, and you can see their stats at the bottom. You can go in, and as you unlock different upgrades for those, you can attach different modifications to them. And then you can also choose your secondary weapon, which you can swap weapons during game, especially if you run out of ammo on one and somebody's not there to throw you an ammo pack. You'll switch to your secondary weapon, and you can go in and customize those as well, or click the pip in the top left corner to select that one. Going in, look at the abilities. Here's a tab full of general abilities, just basic upgrades in the game. Then you can go in and specialize sort of the roles. Start kind of with the one that you like to play the most. You can also go in and add abilities and perks and upgrades to each role available in the game, and we'll unlock a couple here real quick. I've been trying to play quite a bit of medic, so we'll grab this here, metabolism. And we spend the points. Every time you level up, you get a point to spend. So we've got a few points stored up here. Probably I would suggest grabbing some of this basic stuff right off the bat. Would probably be really helpful if you can manage to play PvP not on a trash server. Also, nice little addition here. You can choose kind of which class you want to start with every time you load into a game, but that doesn't keep you from swapping classes in the game at one of the command ports. Alright, so I'm going to let this do it for this MMOBomb.com first look for Brink, now free to play on Steam. If you're looking to give it a try, that's where you can find it out. Free download. There's a few bucks of DLC if you want to buy those. I would strongly suggest trying the game first, though. My experience has not been positive. It's definitely getting a hard pass from me, getting uninstalled immediately after this is completely finished. And I will never look back and never have second thoughts about that. As for me, my name is Troy Blackburn, also known as the Noob Fridge. You can check me out on twitch.tv/noobfridge. If you want to come by, hang out, and watch me stream some video games, be sure to always tune in to MMOBomb.com for all your free-to-play MMO gaming needs. This MMO Bomb first look is done. I am out. Where's the uninstall button?